Pokémon Scarlet and Violet are not unplayable. I've put well over 1,000 hours into this game and am extremely familiar with all its flaws and brilliances. Recently, the Nintendo Today app uploaded footage of the Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced gameplay of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, showcasing its silky smooth frame rate, high resolution, and updated number of allowed Pokémon spawns. I was genuinely awestruck when I saw this footage, and even more so when I saw the Cerebi preview showing Casseroya Lake in the rain dropping exactly 0 frames. But this has, predictably, reignited the flames when it comes to discussing the initial release of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. These games were made with the Switch Pro in mind. These games were literally unplayable. I'm glad this is finally a video game now. Etc. and etc. and etc. For transparency's sake, and to hopefully limit the number of pitchforks in the comments, I reviewed Pokémon Scarlet, Violet, and both DLC packs on my backlogged account. And there, I gave the box titles each a 6 out of 10. The caveat there is that these games, in my opinion, only ever lost points with me due to graphics and performance. The gameplay loop, the story, its characters, the monster designs, everything was damn near perfect. But, as anyone who's even seen the game can tell you, these games were not optimized, and clearly rushed to meet deadlines. There is next to no polish on these games, and I won't even entertain the arguments surrounding the publishing of these games. And that's my main point. There are tons of Twitter reply bros out there right now talking about how Scarlet and Violet were worthless, 0 out of 10 garbage before the Switch 2 update, that Game Freak is a corrupt business with a lazy and incompetent workforce, and that the fans who bought these games are just cogs in the machine that creates bad products. The truth is much simpler. As evidenced by the things Scarlet and Violet does do well, these highly ambitious games were made by an exceptionally talented studio. And as evidenced by the things Scarlet and Violet does not do well, these games were subject to an aggressive, unsustainable timeline due to poor management on the part of the publisher. These games were failures on the publishing level, not the development one, and we need to not lose sight of that fact. Sure, Game Freak owns about 1/3 of the Pokémon company, and doesn't have to answer to them or Nintendo or Creatures Incorporated if they don't want to. But the people with their boots on the ground, squashing bugs, designing mechanics, writing the stories, they were firing on all cylinders with the time they had. Regardless, the fact that management at none of these companies on the line ever said that the state Pokémon Scarlet and Violet were in was unacceptable and would reflect poorly on everyone involved, it's a failure. It's capitalism functioning as designed, but still a failure. And hopefully one that these companies will learn from. Now, I don't want to act too hopeful, but 2024 was the first year since 1997 that did not see a single piece of Pokémon software released for Nintendo hardware. And also the first year Game Freak didn't release a box title or DLC expansion for the mainline Pokémon series since 2015. It feels like this is what course correction looks like. Competitive Pokémon is moving to its own dedicated title in Pokémon Champions. The Pokémon Works company was established to assist with Pokémon productions. Game Freak didn't put out a new title or DLC in 2024. Live services like Pokémon Go, Pokémon Unite, Pokémon Sleep, and Pokémon Cafe Remix keep the brand relevant. Pokémon Trading Card Game Pocket alone is making up for any potential opportunity costs of not releasing a new game every year, and then some. Call it what you want, but I think Pokémon is going to improve, and we're just seeing the very beginning of that. But what do you think? Am I delusional? Crazy off the Silksong hopium? Do you also think that what we're seeing now is a good sign of what's to come? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.